do a get ready with me. I actually went to the same high school. This is something that people really don't talk about. I'm kind of naive when I was moving here. The best support group. What is your dating life like in New York City? Oh boy. This summer is gonna be crazy busy booked. I am currently working on the season of like growing. The boy who's not texting me back is like literally weird now. We all like kind of live on a floating rock. It's not that deep. How long do you see yourself living in New York City? I refused to settle. I was like, what? I was always so afraid of what people thought of me, but whatever. I feel like I really am becoming my best self. He ghosted me randomly on a random Tuesday and never heard from him again. So there's that. I love you guys so much. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hope. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I have a different video. I'm gonna do a get ready with me while I answer questions about myself. A little get to know me. I feel like I haven't really fully introduced myself. If you're not my friends and family or have known me, you know, since middle school, and you're just clicking on this video, I put a questions text box on my Instagram, so I'm going to be answering those questions in addition to some other questions I feel like would help you get to know me a little bit more. I'm going to start priming my face. First question, what is your full name? My full name is Hope Louise Spinner. My middle name comes from my great-grandma. Her name is Louise, and I absolutely love my name. I just don't think I don't see myself being anything else. I feel like Hope really, I don't know. I feel like I could not imagine being anything else. My parents were between Hope and Murphy. Murphy being like an Irish name. It's also a family name. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't get Murphy because ended up, I'd say 10 years after I was born, my grandparents got a dog and they named it Murphy. I don't think they would have named it Murphy, obviously, if my name was Murphy, but regardless, I'm glad they went with Hope. It's not super unusual, but it's definitely not common. My mom said she always wanted a daughter named Hope, which I think is so cool. And she obviously didn't want to decide until I was born, but she said she always wanted a daughter named Hope. She really loves the meaning of the name. It's also just like bringing hope to others. My mom is very religious, and my mom is just like such an angel. So sometimes the name is a lot to live up to. Okay, next question. What is your nickname? Literally almost my entire family and friends, everyone calls me Hopi. It's really just become my name. So I really go by Hopi 9 times out of 10. Where were you born? I was born in Akron, Ohio. This is literally always my little phrase, which is the home of LeBron James. I actually went to the same high school he went to, which is really cool. Lived there my entire life until I moved to New York City for college, which leads into my next question, I believe. Where did you go to college? I went to Marymount Manhattan College on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and I majored in musical theater. I have a BFA in musical theater. I graduated in May. It was actually insane that I went here. Sometimes I'm like, what? How did my parents let me live here at such a young age? But I am beyond grateful that they did, because I have learned so much. I have become so independent. I don't know how I would have been if I didn't move to New York City. I've met the best people. I've had the best experiences. It really was overall the best decision I could have ever made for myself. That doesn't go to say that it wasn't a hard transition. I think this is something that people really don't talk about, is the transition from high school to college. I was very, very homesick. You know, I literally didn't spend more than a week away from my family before moving to New York, which was actually really insane. I was just like kind of naive when I was moving here, and it felt like a vacation for a little bit until it kind of set in that like, oh, my parents aren't picking me up. Like, I live here now. And I think a lot to do with my homesickness as well was social media. And I could see what my family was doing without me. You know, I miss Sunday family dinner. And my brothers went to college in Ohio, so they could come home if they had to. And they could have weekend trips when that really wasn't a possibility for me, being 8 hours away. My family is my absolute everything. If you pick up anything from this video is that I am so family oriented. Moving as well as you're just figuring out your friend groups. It's not so easy to make friends right away, you know? But I was very lucky. I met my 2 best friends that I live with right now. I met Grace when we auditioned for Marymount, which, so for musical theater majors, you have to audition. Yes, you get into the school, but you also have to audition for the musical theater program, and you have to get into the program. And it's a grueling process and insane that I went through. And it was before COVID. Now it's a lot of it is, you know, online submissions, but this was all in person. And I auditioned for about, I think it was like almost 25 schools. And then I cut down the list to like 10, and then I made the decision from there where I was gonna go. And I went to, there was Unified, so in Chicago, one weekend we went, and I auditioned for like 15 schools there, and then some of them, I went to all of the Ohio schools in person. And for Marymount, I actually didn't even know about the school. I heard it from a friend. We were comparing lists of schools we were auditioning for, and they showed me Marymount, and I was like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's in New York City. And I had been to New York 2-3 times before I auditioned for Marymount. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of that school. I guess I'll add it onto my list. Well, it just so happened that Marymount was having auditions the same weekend. My family and I planned a family trip to New York City. So regardless, we were going to be in the city. And I was like, well, I might as well audition for this program since I'm going to be here. I was just kind of in the mindset of like, whatever. I don't really care if I get into the school. I don't really know about it. It's not one of my top picks. Whatever. Marymount really is a very different audition process because you are all auditioning in front of each other. You're split into like 3 groups throughout the day, but you're there all day. You have a dance call, a little bit of a break, and then you do where you sing your 2 cuts. But it's like a masterclass style. So if you're familiar with masterclass, you go, everyone's in the room, we're all sitting, there's the accompanist, and then there's usually 2 or 3 people watching you and giving you critiques in a masterclass. So they would call up a Hope Spinner, you're up next, come in, hi, I'm Hope Spinner. I sang my 2 cuts, and they could literally stop me mid-song and be like, hey, can you try it again? Can you do this? It was very different, and that stood out to me because I was like, oh, they care to take that time. My audition couldn't have gone better. I was so happy, and it was so funny. So why I brought this story up was because I met Grace. So Grace and I were in the same group because it was alphabetical. After our dance call, we went and changed. I get out of the bathroom and I look, and we have the same dress on, the exact same audition dress. I was like, oh my God, I love your dress. And like, we instantly started talking, and we exchanged Snapchats and became Snapchat friends. So I think I auditioned for Marymount like on a Saturday, and I heard back on Monday that I got into the program. And that was just insane because it was like the possibility like, oh wow, like I could literally move to New York. And that was such a dream of mine. But obviously I needed to talk to my parents. My parents are so supportive of my dreams. They always have been. For me and my brothers, always sacrificing so much, and I'm so thankful for that. And they were like, no, like let's go visit the school again and see if you really like it in the spring. So we went and visited again, and I completely fell in love. I could not move to New York. You know, I was like, I knew I wanted to move to New York after graduation, after college. So I was like very much in the mindset of like, I might as well do it now while I'm young. Figure out if I like it, get adapted early, and then I'll just like stay here till, you know, God knows when. So it really, really worked out in that sense. And if you are really questioning about going to a school in New York City or going to a city school, I would really push yourself to go to the city school, because if you know that you are going to regardless move here, everyone is different, but for me, it really was the best decision. Yes, there was days where I was like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, there's a harsh reality, and you can look at it like negatively or positively. I think it's positive. Living in New York, you do have to grow up faster. It's way more of like hustle bustle. There's this energy in the city that you feel like you need to be, you know, always on your game, which can be very exhausting sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. But I am such an ambitious and go-getter kind of girl. It only did positive things for me. It just made me even more, you know, goal-oriented, and really pushed me to, you know, and I've made so many connections. I've met so many different kinds of people that I don't think I would have had that experience if I stayed in Ohio. But like I said before, everyone is different. This was just my experience, but I'm just so thankful that I did choose to go. It's literally my home now. I have lived here, I think it's gonna be like 5 years, but if you take out COVID, because it was my second semester of sophomore year that COVID happened, and I moved back to Ohio for the second half of my sophomore year, and then all of my junior year was virtual. So that was insane, but that could be a whole nother discussion. Don't know if we want to rehash that, but that was also very much of a growing experience. Doing musical theater classes virtually was just a whole nother experience. And if you are one of those people, we got through that, babe. We really got through that. That was a time. So, but I did move back for my senior year, and then I am about to be 1 year out of college, which is so insane. I can't believe it's gonna be a year since we graduated, really. Time has flown by, and I've like learned, I feel like I'm a different person than when I graduated college, which is even more insane because, you know, post-grad is just another thing people don't warn you about. More questions about like me growing up. So I was born in Akron, Ohio, grew up there till I left when I was 18 to go to college. I have 2 older brothers, Bailey and Griffin are their names. They are literally my best friends. I absolutely love being a baby sister. I love the dynamic, and I really want to have 2 boys and a girl when I have children. If I can order, that would be amazing because I love our dynamic. They are so protective and kind, and yeah, we just like really lucked out. Someone asked me how is my music career going and if I have any music coming out soon. So if you didn't know already, I am a singer-songwriter. During COVID, I really started taking my music career seriously, and I met a producer and we started making music together. I write all of my own music, and I have 3 original songs out. They are available on all streaming platforms. With You was my first one, Tell the Boy, and Hometown Stays. And then I have a cover out as well, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. As for right now, I am currently working on about 2-3 songs I am so excited about. Do not have a release date out or anything, but obviously I will keep you guys updated when I know I'm gonna be releasing those songs. And I definitely want to do music videos for them because I think music videos really make the song. I think it's so cool to have like a visual. Favorite thing about living in New York City? I love that everything is walkable. You can literally go anywhere you want. You can experience so many different kinds of cultures, different neighborhoods. Like you can turn right and it's gonna be a different vibe than when you turn left. You know, that kind of like corny thing. I really do love about living in New York City and all the different kind of people that live here. So yeah, I would think that you just have so many cool experiences. I love that you can walk anywhere. What do you miss most about home? My family, period. If they could live here, that would be so perfect. They love to visit though. They visit a lot, so that is great, and I get to go home a lot. They asked, what is your summer plans? This summer is gonna be crazy busy booked. I'm like redoing my concealer. Oh, this is literally the wrong one. Is it? This looks so light. You know what? We're just gonna blend it out and hope for the best. My oldest brother, Bailey, is getting married June 10th, and I am in the wedding. Well, first we have, so the wedding shower is end of April, so I'm going home for that. And then the next weekend is the bachelorette, and we're going to Naples, Florida. So excited for that. I can't wait to be in the sun. And we're going, like, we have a boat ride planned for one day. We have beach yoga, a slumber party. I absolutely love Naples, Florida. It's so, so beautiful down there. So peaceful. Everyone is so relaxed. It is such a different vibe than here. So I'm really excited for that, and that is Cinco de Mayo weekend. I have my dress already. I tried it on when I was home last, and it is so stunning. I'm so excited. I'm not going to tell you anything because I want it to be like a surprise. Me making it about me. Like, I want it to be a surprise. What is your dating life like in New York City? Oh boy. Where to even begin? When I first moved here, I was like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm going to meet so many guys. and I'm gonna live out my like Carrie Bradshaw life. And I definitely have. I will say that. I've met a lot of people. But you know, I'm still single. I am still single and I'm really happy. I'm really happy. But it's hard. Dating life is hard here. I'm just over the dating apps. I really am. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that. Be like, oh, but I'm over it. I want to have like a meet cute moment. And I know maybe that's like a little too naive, like hope like it's 2023. It doesn't happen like that, but I really want to meet someone genuinely. I think you either meet someone that's like a referral from a friend or on a dating app. And my experience with dating apps have not been so great. I was talking to this guy for a while that I met on a dating app, and he just ghosted me randomly on a random Tuesday and never heard from him again. So there's that. I have very high standards, which I fully believe you should have. I refuse to settle. I know my worth. I know I am like wifey material. And I think that scares some guys. You know, I'm very good on my own. I have a lot of aspirations, and I think some people get intimidated by that, which that's a whole nother conversation. If you're sure of yourself, I don't know why that would be intimidating. If you give off like energy that you're very confident, for some reason that means you're intimidating. And I don't really get that. But whatever. I'm in my like single girl Carrie Bradshaw era. I know like when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it's gonna happen. My mom always says, she's like, hope you're gonna meet a guy and it's gonna be like boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna meet the guy. It's gonna be like the love of my life. I'm gonna get engaged, we're gonna get married, obviously like time in between, but I think my person is definitely out there. My mom has told me since I was a little girl to pray for my future husband. And yeah, I'm praying that he's, you know, doing well and on the search for me. I will keep you guys updated if anything happens, but currently no, I am not dating anyone. I am single. And I'm very happy. I'm just like very independent. I'm like, honestly, like I don't even have time to take care of myself some days. So how would I be like fitting someone else in my schedule? I don't really know, but obviously when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. How long do you see yourself living in New York City? Like forever? I don't know. I really don't know. I think it boils down to a lot of different factors, like my career, my love life, my family. Like I don't want to be far away from my family forever. I'd love for them to move here, but I do possibly see myself moving back to Cleveland, you know, to be close to my family. I don't want to be like the distant relative, really, honestly. I feel like I'll have FOMO and I don't want to miss out on things, if that makes sense. So I don't really know, but like for now, I don't see myself moving anytime soon. I absolutely love living here. I feel like I really am becoming my best self here, and I think it's great right now. This is great for me right now to be here because in the season of like growing and, you know, being post-grad and figuring out what I want to do, what makes me happy, who I want to surround myself with. There's a lot of different things going on that right now I cannot even imagine like moving somewhere else. I think that would be kind of crazy. But with my career, if something comes up and, you know, I fucking book a movie or TV in LA, I will be on the next plane, of course. So there's a lot of different factors, I think. What is your dream job? So many things. This is what I kind of struggle with. I wear so many hats. Like I'm a singer-songwriter, I'm an actor, dancer, content creator. It's like what I tell people. And I think that's a lot, and that can kind of stress me out sometimes because some days I'm like, why wasn't I just like a teacher? And I did that. But that's not why I'm here. I think I was meant to be kind of like multifaceted and have different areas of interest and different ways I can make a name for myself. So yeah, my dream job is like just to like be doing what I love. Like as corny as that sounds, in a creative space, you know, creating art, whether that means I'm acting in a movie or a TV show, performing in a Broadway show, or I'm a big content creator that is creating for brands and has all these partnerships. You're a songwriter that, you know, makes it big and is, you know, touring the world. I don't know. I am down for any of that. So I think we're just gonna have to like wait and see, you know, like it's kind of exciting to be like young, but I'm also like, I want to know now. I want to figure it out now. But it is a marathon, not a sprint, right? Is that what they say? Do you have any allergies? I am gluten-free. I was diagnosed when I was 9 years old because my mom found out that she was gluten-free, and it's hereditary, so we all got tested. Showed up in my blood work that there was like red flags. So then I had to get an endoscopy. So I put a camera down my throat and found out that I was, in fact, I have celiac disease. So it's been over 10 years by now, and it was really hard in the beginning, especially being like a kid. I think at birthday parties and social events and at school, a little bit I would run into, like, I felt really weird because I had to have different food, and that made me feel, you know, judged. But now there is so much, everyone is gluten-free. Now there's so many alternatives, so many people, like I can go almost anywhere, especially living in New York City, which is so great. The one thing I do love too, the food here, top notch, so amazing. There's so many different alternatives and so many places I can go to. So yeah, so it's really not that hard. There's a lot of people in my family who do have celiac disease as well. It's myself, my brother Griffin, not my oldest brother. He doesn't have it. I don't know how he dodged that, but whatever. Griffin has it, and then my mom, and then my mom's mom, my nanny. So the four of us are like the gluten-free people. But my dad mostly like eats gluten-free since like we all eat it. So who do you live with? I live with my two best friends, Natalie and Grace. I think I was starting to say this earlier. Grace I met at the audition for Marymount, and then Natalie I met the first day of college, which is absolutely insane. I was sitting at the school Starbucks. I'll never forget it. It was the first day of welcome week, and I was so nervous. And this girl came up, she had overalls on, super tan, had Starbucks in her hand. She's like, "Hey, I'm Natalie, can I sit there?" And like, she had like a raspy voice. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, of course." She sat down, we talked, and we ended up being in the same welcome week group. We talked the entire day. We had so much in common. I instantly was like, I love this girl. Like, she's my best friend. And it literally has been like that ever since. It was even more crazy because later in the day, we walked past Grace. And I was like, "Hey, Grace, oh my God, blah, blah, blah," talking. And then Natalie was like, "Oh my God, how do you know Grace? Grace and I are roommates." I was like, "What?" So Grace and Natalie were roommates freshman year of college. I lived in a different dorm. But it was just so insane. I was like, "Oh my God, do you guys already know each other?" So the three of us have just been inseparable. They're literally my sisters. We made a group chat like the week we all met, making plans to go out. And I remember, I don't know what came over me, but I named the group chat Bridesmaids, which I was like, wow, I was really confident that I was gonna like stay friends with these girls forever. And I really had a good gut feeling because it's still to this day Bridesmaids. And they will be my bridesmaids 100%. I am so thankful for them because they have always been my rocks. They really helped me during the transition of moving from Ohio to here because they're from the tri-state area. So they kind of like took me under their wing and, you know, showed me the ropes. So if you're watching, I love you guys so much. Are you going to the Taylor Swift concert? I know you're a big Swiftie. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I thank my dad so much because he survived the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster massacre of 2023. My dad got us tickets for June 30th. We're going to Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm so excited. I love Taylor Swift so much. I'm a huge Swiftie. She is like my idol. It's gonna be the best night ever. I need to figure out what era I'm gonna dress as. I was kind of thinking I'm gonna do like bejeweled and have like the bodysuit. But then a part of me wants to do like old country Taylor. If you had advice to give your younger self, what would it be? Everything is going to work out. Everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. And right now it may seem like it's not going your way and you're freaking out and you had it in your mind that it was going to go a certain way, but it's all going to make sense one day. And I still believe that. Like, I know right now, currently what's happening in my life right now, I'm like, this is all going to make sense. The way things, I'm very like intuitive. I love manifestation. I love, you know, that whole kind of thing of like really creating your future. And I think when you just like let go, everything flows. Like if you just let go of like putting everything on such a high pedestal, like it has to be this way, or if I don't get this, I'm not gonna, like, it's never gonna work out. If you start just being like, it's gonna be okay. Like we all like kind of live on a floating rock. It's not that deep. Like, as awful, like, weird as that sounds, it's like, it's really not that deep. Let's just have fun. Like, this is our time to be young and have fun and make mistakes. And we're gonna figure it out. As long as we're like, at the end of the day, we're fed, bathed, we're sleeping well, you know, doing good things for our body, have good support system, doing what we love, that's all that matters, honestly. I firmly believe that everything truly does happen for a reason. And yeah, I'm just an overall very grateful person. So I think I would tell my younger self to just like, chill, girl, chill. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out. That boy who's not texting you back is like literally weird now. So don't sweat it. Do not sweat it whatsoever. Would you ever do a podcast? Yes, 100%. 100%. My best friend Natalie and I, literally during COVID, when we were in lockdown, we like had a whole name for our podcast. We were like trying to figure out if we were going to do it. We never really did it, but I think we're going to do it definitely one day. And I definitely want to have a solo one as well. I just love to chat. I love to talk. I feel like everyone and their mom is making a podcast right now, but I think there's a platform for everyone. And yeah, I definitely would love to have a podcast. Talk about just like what it's like living in New York City and like giving advice. What are you looking forward to most now having a YouTube channel? Just like creating. Like, I have always wanted a YouTube channel, and I've like started different like channels growing up, but I was always so afraid of what people thought of me, and now I like really could not give a fuck. Really don't care. During COVID, I really I took off on TikTok and I started posting a lot, and I have over like 50,000 followers. I really think the fear of you looking stupid holds you back, so I try not to ever think about that. I'm like, honestly, I don't really care what someone thinks about me. Like, if they think that's weird, like, whatever. I'm gonna sleep good at night. If it makes me happy, if making these silly little vlogs, documenting my everyday life, me getting Dunkin' every single day, me going to SoulCycle, me, you know, with my best friends being silly, stupid. If that makes me weird, like, whatever. Because it makes me so happy. Because these are like little diaries, and now I get to show them to everyone. I need to start doing my hair. I wanted to do this little question and answer because I wanted to like give you guys more of an insight of like who I am and feel a little closer to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It would mean so much. You can also find me on Instagram at HopeSpinner and TikTok at Keeping Up with Hopey. I'm gonna start doing a lot more like chatting videos. I think this is where I really, you know, if you can't tell already, I love to talk. So I want to start doing more chatting videos. And so if you have any, you know, any themes or topics you want me to talk about, let me know. And I would love to make those videos for you. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog. Love you. Bye.
You're my best friend.